The Secret Garden, Chapter 2, Part 1. Mary woke to the pale light of dawn. The manor seemed quiet and waiting, its long corridors filled with stillness. Martha entered cheerfully with water. Her hands were red from the morning cold, but her smile warmed the room at once. "Up you get, Miss Mary," she said. "The day's begun, and the moor's alive. It will do you good to breathe the air." Mary washed quickly, still curious. She longed to see more of the house, to wander its halls and secret corners. At breakfast, Martha chatted freely. She spoke of sheep and wide fields and the winds that shaped the moor. Mary listened with growing interest. Her old sourness faded a little, softened by Martha's kind chatter. She asked about the gardens outside. Martha's eyes brightened with surprise, but she hesitated before replying. "There's many gardens here, miss," Martha said slowly, lowering her voice. "Some are cared for, some are shut." Mary leaned closer with curiosity. "Why are some locked?" she asked, her voice sharp with sudden interest. Martha shook her head quickly. "Best not to ask too many questions. It's not for me to say." The words stirred Mary deeply. She felt the house held more secrets, waiting behind doors and high walls. Later, she wandered near the windows. Beyond them stretched the moorland, wild and endless under the gray sky. The air was cold, but strangely fresh. It filled her chest with new energy, a feeling she had never known before. She thought again of locked gardens. The mystery pressed softly on her mind, like a promise waiting to be uncovered. Her small hands touched the glass pane. She whispered to herself with resolve, "I will find out what lies behind." Mary stepped into the corridor again. Her footsteps echoed softly, like whispers guiding her forward. She noticed doors she had passed before, their handles cool and untouched, guarding secrets she longed to know. At one corner, a draft blew gently, carrying the smell of earth and grass, as if from a garden close by. Her heart beat faster at the thought. Could it be the hidden place, the one Martha had not spoken of? She pressed her ear to the wall, but only silence answered back, thick and heavy, like a closed book. The house seemed alive around her, every shadow watching quietly, every door holding back its story. Mary wrapped her arms tighter, not from fear but from excitement, a sense of discovery waking inside. Through a high window, she saw sky. Clouds moved slowly across the gray, like sails drifting on a silent sea. She whispered softly to herself, "One day I will find the garden, and I will see what it hides." Her words faded into the silence, but the manner seemed to listen, as though keeping her secrets safe. She wandered back toward her room, her mind still restless with questions, her heart alight with new resolve. Martha entered soon after, smiling. She carried a tray of warm bread, the smell filling the cold room. Mary asked again about the garden. Martha shook her head firmly, but her eyes flickered with unease. "There's no use thinking on it," Martha said briskly as she worked. "Best keep your mind on other things." Mary frowned but said no more. Her silence held stubborn strength, like a lock no one could turn. Later she sat by the window quietly. The wind pressed against the glass, singing in low, wandering tones. She traced lines on the frosted pane, her small hand leaving faint marks, like paths on a hidden map. The thought of the garden returned, stronger than before, steady and clear, a mystery waiting just for her. Evening shadows stretched long and slow. Candles flickered in the hallways, casting shapes that moved like dreams. Mary closed her eyes at last, her mind filled with secret doors and gardens locked in silence. Morning light crept through the curtains. Mary stirred slowly, still holding dreams of hidden doors. Martha bustled in with fresh water. Her chatter filled the quiet, like sunlight breaking heavy clouds. Mary asked about the moor again. Martha spoke of sheep and wild winds, her voice lively with pride. "The moor changes each season," Martha explained warmly. "It's never the same 2 days." Mary listened with growing wonder. She imagined fields without end, painted by wind and sky. After breakfast, she walked the halls. Her steps echoed on stone floors, each corner deep with silence. A sudden creak caught her ear. She turned quickly, heart quickening, but saw nothing in the shadows. The house felt alive again, like a giant keeping its secrets, whispering just out of reach. She touched a locked door gently. Its handle was cold and unmoving, a silent guardian of mystery. Mary leaned close to the keyhole. Only darkness stared back, quiet and unbroken inside. Her curiosity grew sharper still. She longed to open each door to know what lay behind. Martha found her wandering again. "Best not trouble yourself, miss," she said kindly, though a bit firm. Mary asked again about gardens. Martha hesitated, looking away, her silence louder than words. "There was one once," she admitted, "but it's been locked for years. No one goes there anymore." Mary's eyes lit up with interest. Her heart thumped with excitement, a new mystery finally unfolding. "Why is it locked?" she pressed. But Martha only shook her head, her lips sealed with caution. Mary frowned, unsatisfied. She could feel a secret close, yet still hidden from her reach. The wind howled across the moor. Mary felt its call even inside, wild and full of promise. She pressed her face to the window. The gray fields seemed endless, stretching far beyond her sight. Her small hand touched the glass. She whispered softly once more, "I will find the garden someday." That night the house grew quiet. Candles burned low in the halls, casting long, trembling shadows. Mary lay awake in her bed. The whispers of the manor echoed like voices in her dreams. She turned on her side slowly, listening to the faintest sounds, the house breathing in the dark. Her eyes closed at last, but her thoughts wandered still, chasing keys and hidden gates. Sleep came like a soft tide, drawing her gently under, carrying secrets into dreams. Morning broke with pale light. The manor seemed hushed, its walls heavy with secrets. Mary dressed quickly in silence. Her thoughts returned to gardens, locked and waiting somewhere near. Martha entered with her usual smile. She carried bread and warm milk, the simple kindness steadying Mary. "Will you take me outside today?" Mary asked, her voice eager, eyes fixed with quiet determination. Martha hesitated for a moment, then nodded slowly and replied, "Perhaps the moor will suit you." Mary's heart lifted with joy. The thought of fresh air and fields felt like a promise of freedom. They walked through side passages, past servants carrying baskets, each busy with daily tasks. A door opened to the outside. Cold air rushed in at once, sharp and alive with the moor. Mary stepped out carefully, the wind brushing her face, the sky stretching without end. The ground felt firm beneath her, grass bent under the breeze, whispering secrets in soft tones. She breathed deeply, filling her chest, the air crisp and strange, stronger than anything in India. Martha pointed to the horizon. "There's miles of moor out there, wilder than words can tell." Mary looked far across the land. The vast emptiness stirred her, loneliness mixing with wonder. A bird rose suddenly from the grass. Its wings flashed against gray sky. Free and untamed, like the wind. Mary followed its flight with awe. Her lips curved faintly, the start of a rare smile. They walked a little further still. The silence of the moor seemed filled with hidden life. Mary touched the rough heather, its stems cold under her fingers, yet full of quiet strength. Her steps grew steadier outside. The open air gave her courage, a freshness she had never known. Martha spoke of her brothers, running wild on the moor, healthy and strong from the wind. Mary listened with curiosity. For the first time she thought perhaps she too could change. The thought stirred something new, not fear, not sorrow, but a seed of hope inside her. The moor stretched endlessly beyond, its voice carried in the wind, calling her to discover more. She stood still for a long moment. The land and sky surrounded her, vast and full of promise. Mary whispered softly to herself, "This place will make me strong, and I will find the garden." Her words vanished into the wind, but the moor seemed to listen, holding her vow in its silence. They turned back toward the manor, its tall stone walls waiting quietly, shadowed against the gray sky. Mary walked slower than before, her eyes still on the moor, as if it called her to return. The wind carried faint scents of earth, wild and sharp, full of life, settling deeply inside her heart. Martha spoke of supper and chores. Her voice was steady and kind, guiding Mary back to warmth. The house rose large before them, its windows closed and silent, like eyes hiding untold secrets. Mary paused at the great door. She looked once more at the moor, then stepped inside the quiet hall. The air inside felt colder again. Stone walls pressed around her, but her heart carried new fire. She whispered to herself softly, "The garden is waiting for me. I know I will find the way." The words echoed only within her, yet the silence of the manor seemed to hold them gently. That night she lay in her bed, dreaming of keys and hidden gates, while the wind sang beyond the walls.